Good evening, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Election day is very close. It's less than 6 days away, and we also got another race in our hands. And this is in New Jersey. Now, as you all know, New Jersey is a Democratic state, but however, the governor races are far more competitive. In fact, their statewide elections, well, mostly the governor races, in the past 40 years, only one Democrat had been reelected, and that was back in 1977. So, other than that, every other single Democratic incumbent governor who tried to run for reelection lost. It happened in '93, happened in 2009, and it could happen again in 2021. Now, the reason I bring it up is because the latest polls showed that Jack Ciattarelli was down behind 6 percentage points. And others were saying, well, Phil Murphy is going to win because New Jersey is too blue. Well, I like to say, don't be so sure because this is starting to give me the vibes of the 1993 race. Now, as you all know, in 1993, it was between different time. We all know it was between Christine Todd Whitman versus Jim Florio. So Jim Florio, basically, when he got elected with over close to 60% of the vote in 1989. But what happened as soon as he got in office, he actually basically did one of the largest tax increases in the U.S. I think it's $3 billion tax increase, and it sparked a lot of backlash, especially with the sales tax. And in addition, and because of that, he never really recovered from that. And this is all just in his first year. So basically, as you can see here, according to the 1993 polls, which were possibly more accurate than what we have now, basically Jim Florio was leading every poll against Christine Todd Whitman. But come election day, all the undecideds, this magical number, they all went towards Christine Todd Whitman, and she unseated Jim Florio by 1 percentage point, or 1.1 percentage point to be more exact. But you kind of see what I'm getting. But you kind of see what we're getting there. Now, why did I bring this up for 2021? Well, because according to the latest polls, they say taxes are a huge issue. See, I'm an NJ native myself. I lived there majority of my life, so I kind of understand that the frustration with the taxes. Like for example, you pay one of the highest income taxes, one of the highest sales taxes, and don't get me started with the property taxes. I mean, wow, the property taxes. Add on top of that, like traveling to New York when you had to pay all the tolls and all. It's like, just I think going to New York just one way in the tunnel costs like now close to $20. I don't remember. I mean, it's been a while, so I don't really remember. I don't necessarily remember that. I mean, we usually use an Easy Pass, but you kind of get the point. But all this thing takes a huge chunk out of your paycheck, and I can understand why a lot of the middle class voters, or even some of the more moderate to conservative Democrats, may lean towards Jack Ciattarelli because the Northeast, the Republicans tend to be more socially moderate, but more fiscally conservative as well, or in some cases, fiscally conservative in name only. In fact, one of the more successful New Jersey governors, Tom Keene, yeah, basically, he got elected in a close race against Jim Florio, and basically, he got reelected with I think 60% of the vote the 4 years later. So he was pretty popular. In fact, he was actually a pretty significant figure in the Republican Party in the '80s. So, um, so basically, New Jersey does have that. So the New Jersey Republican Party is dead. I don't even say that that these political parties die unless their organization is just tremendous, hideous. They have no plan. I mean, you can always count on the Republican Party to come back in the northeastern states despite how they vote in the presidential elections. So basically, going back, taxes are a huge issue. Property. I've been hearing from like Democrats and Republicans saying like, okay, all we had to do is they talk about property taxes. Property tax. I've been hearing that for 20 something years, and nothing happens. Especially when the Democrat comes to the office, they end up raising taxes instead, and it gets kind of annoying. It actually does take a toll on your paycheck. So my thing is that I think they're undercounting the support. I mean, I don't believe this 11% poll that came out. I really don't. I mean, why would Obama come? I think this is more in line with the 6% poll. Like, I expect Jack Ciattarelli to, I may sound outlandish, he may actually pull this off because Joe Biden's very unpopular. The Democratic Party, their branding sucks. Let's face it, it sucks. I mean, I don't know anybody who's say I'm proud Democrat, especially with all this stuff going on with the Biden administration. So I expect Jack Ciattarelli, he may get close to the Christine Todd Whitman scenario, which is like 40. He might win with 48% of the vote in a plurality. Because don't forget, down the ballots, we also have the Green Party and the Socialist Workers' Party. So let's see how much percentage points they get. You know, each percentage, each of these votes count. So if you're unsatisfied with any of the top two candidates, you know, you also have Libertarian, Green, or Socialist. So it'd be funny if they split the vote and Jack Ciattarelli wins. Kind of funny, in my opinion. But other than that, I think Jack Ciattarelli, he's actually running a more disciplined and decent campaign. Showing he is he's not unfazed by Obama's endorsement. He's talking straight about the issues, that about the business climate's terrible, especially that what his plans is to bring jobs to the state and improve the business climate and also improve the tax situation. So I think that is resonating with a lot of voters. So the energy is on his side. So it's on Jack Ciattarelli's side. So my prediction is that Jack Ciattarelli, he's probably going to pull off an upset, might get 48% of the vote. I mean, then again, I could be wrong, but election day is 6 days away. I don't trust these polls after 2020. I think the undecided voters, they're mostly going to go towards Jack Ciattarelli. So, you know, it should be an exciting couple of days, you know. I'll probably make another video on the aftermath of the NJ race. And you know, we'll go from there. All right. Well, you guys take care and you stay safe.